Hello, everybody. Welcome to a brand new episode of Cartoon Killer. I did a voice. My name is Snipples. Over there is T. Wells.
T. Wells.
And boy, has it been a strange couple of weeks. So, let's explain some things. We recorded an episode for Emperor's New Groove that didn't quite... School. Emperor's New School. We would have been fortunate to have watched Emperor's New Groove.
Yes.
Didn't quite work out for a number of reasons. Ultimately, we didn't... our recording cut off somewhere in the middle of our description of the first episode, and we were just not going to talk about it in detail anymore, because it hurt us. But we will talk about it now. Just our general views of the show. T. Wells, take it from here.
It's a thing.
It exists.
People watched it.
So, here's what makes me sad about the show. It is written by the same guy who, helped make the movie, but it's so much worse. It's so much worse. And I think the reason for that is it's a dialogue-based comedy. Stuff happens, but it's not... The funny stuff doesn't come from the actions. It comes from the dialogue, and the dialogue isn't good. It's pretty mediocre. And then, as for the stuff that happens, it's all very redundant. You can guess the plot of any episode after watching the first episode. Alternatively, you can just watch the movie and then watch that movie 6 more times in a row, and the movie will still be funnier than the show. But that's the experience. It's just recycling. Cusco turns into an animal. There's some very unexplained legal things going on.
Pull the lever.
Esma is Yzma. That's basically what you need to know. We reviewed another cartoon, a Disney cartoon based off a movie, didn't we? That means he does not know.
If you can't tell, I'm looking around the room going, did we?
Well, either way, this was super disappointing. Because we like Emperor's New Groove. It's a good movie. So that couldn't translate into a good show.
Into a show that is non-canon. That only exists to further bring in money to a movie years later.
Yeah, because the show came out way after the movie.
Years later. And it had technically a sequel. It technically had a sequel. That's but this show is non-canon to that too.
It's an alternate timeline. Things went timey-wimey and just got all mixed up. But hey, enough about that. Actually, not enough about that. Because we just sat here and said the show was bad, but that's not how I usually end my criticisms. So, should you watch this show? No. No, you shouldn't.
If you
Even if you like the
if
movie,
you
no.
like the movie, don't watch this show. If you didn't like the movie, why would you watch this show?
Okay, okay. If you watch this show, thought it was okay, then watch the movie. That's my suggestion. Now, on to something we both loved. Rabbids Invasion.
Yeah, love. That's a word that I would not use to describe this show.
Okay,
I'm not the biggest fan of low comedy.
here's something. We were both around when the Rabbids came out. Like when they first showed up,
And
and
Rayman,
yeah, Rayman, Raving
which
Rabbids,
is what it just essential.
just as the Wii was about to come out.
Yeah, that's the entire point is they're Rayman things, but they got their own show because kids are like, ha ha ha, funny rabbits. Because kids are stupid, right?
Well, I really like the advertising campaign for the Rabbids. And I think this show is basically built off of more the advertising campaign and the popularity of the advertising than the actual game. No, I do. I don't know if I own. I probably sold it. I think I did. Because I got the game when I got the Wii as a gift and never played it. Because it was a minigame compilation. I don't want to play a minigame compilation. And also, no, I like Rayman. My first Rayman game was Rayman 2 for the N64. No, it wasn't. Rayman The Great Escape. I don't know if that's actually Rayman 2. And then I also played the original Rayman after the fact. So I didn't like the idea that these Rabbids were taking over. Because after Raving Rabbids, there weren't any more Rayman games. They were just Rabbid games.
Because Ubisoft doesn't know anything anymore.
Yeah, Ubisoft has gone off the deep end a little bit. Um, Rayman did make its return though. So, these characters, I don't know, they saw something in these characters and they decided to make a TV show about them without having. I mean, I think it's pretty clear to me that they really didn't have any idea of exactly what to do with this show,
That's why I
like with this
said
concept.
this show is low comedy, as in there is nothing going on. There is no plot. These rabbits exist and things happen, and they are stupid.
Yes, let me just go
The
back and mention that they were a Rayman enemy.
enemy.
Um, Apparently, for some reason, they were worthy of being a nemesis to Rayman, even though it's a miracle that they can get out of bed in the morning or go to sleep in a bed at night
Or know what
or
beds
sleep.
are.
So we'll just get to it. Hit that first episode. Actually, let's hit that opening.
I just want to know something.
Yeah.
I just blame Stray for this whole thing. Because one, he's not here, and two, it's by Ubisoft Canada, Montreal.
Ah, yes. That explain. You know, I always think that
Does that
Ubisoft is
explain the
French.
French in the title? Yeah, Montreal.
You know, see, I was gonna mention. You think the French would make something fancier than this, but no, it's French Canada, so it makes sense.
On Ubisoft. You're underestimating Ubisoft.
You mean overestimated?
No.
Rabbids Invasion Season 1 on Nickelodeon. One thing I do like about this show. The opening is super pretty. It's pretty much what they put. It's where all the budget went and all the effort went. The theme song is practically non-existent. It's just rabbit noises like that. So like, there's not much to talk about theme song wise. Pretty opening though. Mm. The first episode is called Omelet Party. There are no omelets in this episode.
I will summarize this. Hold on, let me finish chewing this ice. Okay. The Rabbids. This premise of the show is the Rabbids wander the world, people ignore they're there, and things happen. They get fascinated by things, and things happen. So they walk by a farm, and they see a chicken. And then they find out eggs come out of chickens. Things happen. Stupid things happen. Then a cow
When he
poops on
first,
them. The end.
the people want to know how you go from chickens to getting cow pooped.
They find out eggs come from chicken and wonder what else, what comes out from the butt of other things.
Because two rabbits, the difference between the vagina and the
They
butt,
don't know the difference because
it's
as far
complicated.
as they know, it comes out of the butt because rabbits reproduce asexually.
But if I might go into a smidge more detail, when they run up on the first chicken that they find, I thought when they it's like T-Wells just said, they get fascinated by things. One of the things that they are most fascinated by are butts. So when they run across this chicken, they get fascinated by the chicken butt. And of course I'm thinking, oh snap, it's like Gonzo. They want to do this chicken. And so after that, they start doing this weird chicken mating dance around the chicken before pissing the chicken off. Because the chicken is not interested in
Does
making
not
sweet, sweet love with alien rabbits.
does not want to deal with their shit.
So they try to follow it, and they find all the chickens. Except, well, they find all the chickens, and they go chicken racing. That sounds fun, doesn't it? It's not. Um, one of the rabbits doesn't get a chicken, but he finds another one, and that's the rabbit that discovers eggs
From the booty.
from the booty eggs. Oh gosh. Now I'm thinking about that. You remember that alien egg implanter?
No.
Yes, you do. The sexual alien thing that shoots gelatin eggs up your butt
From what?
from real life.
Nope.
Don't make me remind you. It's pretty awful. I can
Let's
understand why you blocked it out, but
let's move on.
anyway, the rabbit uses this code thing like wah 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 wah, which makes the chicken lay eggs. This particular chicken. The other chickens just lay eggs. Rules, man. Who needs them? So, overcome by the tempting power of the chicken, this rabbit decides to fire eggs at the other rabbits. The other rabbits, well, just one rabbit in particular, gets angry. As angry as rabbits get, they're not really angry, they're just super petty. and fight over dumb stuff. So he grabs a chicken, and they have a cowboy-style chicken off, where they shoot eggs at each other.
Oh, you mean Matrix style cowboy chicken off?
Yeah, there's Matrixy stuff. They're still doing Matrix parodies.
Kids don't know.
Still. And, yeah, this whole cowboy thing, they do it a lot. To the point it's like, these guys are aliens. Why are you so obsessed with cowboys? What's the connection there? I don't understand. Anyway, one person it throws an egg, and the egg hatches into a little baby chick. And that confuses the rabbits, but it also summons the rooster, which they did not have enough money to model. So there's just a shadow. And that shadow scares off the rabbits, and that's when they run into the cow. And the rabbit does the wah 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 thing, and that makes the cow poop on it. So basically, this episode was about the brown note. But whereas the brown note is incredibly funny in that one episode of South Park, and incredibly useful in the stick of truth, it just does not work here. Now, this from this point on, we're gonna start seeing people, and if I'm going to have to,
You say people. What you mean is the same like 5 people every few episodes.
yeah, I don't want to bring up how they reuse models every episode, so I'm really trying to get it out of the way first. Um, yeah, same people every episode. There's Shaggy, who's used every episode. Well, used recurringly. The same old people models, same criminal models. There's a black guy that's just a recolored version of a model of a white guy, except with the addition of an afro. These guys had no money.
They they just reuse the assets. Because CG is hard.
They're video game developers.
This is for a TV show. It's different.
It used to be different. Not these days. The CG is just so bad, guys. Like in this, and it's not visually. It's aside from the constant reuse of models, it's the stiffness, like the actual animation, the movement.
They're going cheap.
It's really bad. And lip syncing is bad.
I thought
And the
that was
facial expressions are
I
bad.
thought that was just me. I was like, the audio seems kind of off. But yeah. The like I said, the show is made like for kids. This is low comedy. The entire point of it is look, things are happening on screen. Pay attention, child has ADD.
Yeah, this is colorful ADD. This, you know what this is? This is Teletubbies.
Yeah,
That's what this is.
I can see that.
It's Teletubbies and rabbits. You watch Teletubbies, it's colorful, you have no idea what's going on, but stuff is happening on screen. Anyway, let's get to the second part of the first episode.
Oh my god.
Rabbit mollusk.
We're gonna have to
Now,
like start talking faster for these because there's not much in depth for these, really.
well, I'm not gonna talk about the pranks that much, just what happens. Because the jokes, quote unquote, aren't worth talking
There
about.
are no joke. It's just this thing is happening is funny. That's
The slapstick.
it's slapstick. Low, like I said, low comedy, slapstick.
Don't call it slapstick low comedy.
No, no, no,
Slapstick
no.
is
This
great.
is low comedy slapstick.
This is just makes you want So if you need to Valentine's Day, just watch this.
We could watch the movie Valentine's Day. Remember when we reviewed that?
No,
A
no,
separate universe
no.
before we became this version.
That's the Emperor New Scroll part. That's the Emperor New Scroll verse. This is the movie verse.
This is the new 52. This is the new Marvel universe.
um, so the rabbits find a starfish that amuses them, and they start playing with it. And naturally, they get jealous and start fighting because, like I said, they are super petty. They cut to these two old people that own an old people store for Floridian retirees, and on the television, there's a passing mention of a criminal being on the run. I don't. I can't express how unnecessary that C plot is. Like, they introduce it just to wrap it up at the end. Like, it's not important at all. Anyway, during the Starfish Wars, they throw the starfish at the windows that the old man is cleaning in front of his store, making the old man clean the window again. And that's basically the first half. That just happens over and over again. First half of this, I'm not gonna say episode, of this part of the show until one of the rabbits find an octopus. Now, the octopus starts screwing with the rabbits because why are they messing with this octopus? And then it beats the shit out of them, which they deserve because they are annoying and terrible creatures. Let's talk about this. These are protagonist people, and I can't get behind them in anything they do. You know, you can't root for these guys. Because, like I said, they're petty, they're selfish. The fact that they're supposed to be adorable, supposed to be, does not save them from the fact that they're alien douches, is what they are. They're a pack of alien douches.
That no one cares exists.
No one even, like, when people see them, they're like, huh, this is supposed to be here.
This is fine.
No, no, there ought to be way more questions. In fact, how is that not the plot of this show? Alien rabbits, they're not hiding. They're everywhere. The humans are being invaded. They're super annoying. Get rid of them. That should be the. I'm doing your job, Ubisoft. Anyway, after the octopus beats them up, they decide to kill the octopus with baseball bats that they receive out of I don't know where. But the octopus kung fu counters them. It's sent flying into the criminals. Oops. It's sent flying into the criminal's car, and the criminal crashes into the store. Fortunately, the old man that was cleaning the windows decided that the window keeps getting messed up for some reason. So this time, after I finish cleaning it, I'm just gonna disappear and run off to the beach. So he's not there. The car crashes into the store, and he's fishing while the rabbits are playing in the background. And that's it. If that sounds like a bunch of nothing, well, we have a whole lot more nothing coming up for you. Alright, so next. Rabbit, are you there? So, this takes place outside. I don't know. It's not a fortune teller. It's a guy that holds seances. I don't think there's a specific name for that.
Yeah, it's a scam.
Yeah. And, Outside of this guy's house, a criminal is breaking in. Because there's no precious pup here to save people from criminals. It's just criminals. And the rabbits are fascinated by the criminal. So they go inside with him. And he's scared by their appearance. So he falls down. When he falls down, the guy that's performing the seance thinks it's a sign. And
The
that
thing
is
is
the
that
plot of this episode.
no, he doesn't think it's a sign. He says it's a sign. The people in the room with him believe him.
Those people, they came in as strangers. They left as cult members.
Yeah, that they made.
So they find the criminal's electronic controller. I don't know what else to call it. This is an electronic hacking device. It's very fancy for a criminal of his caliber.
So hacking works.
So they're turning all the lights off, on and off, in the apartment complex. It's a sign. For some reason, they start stacking on top of each other, which surprises the criminal, makes him trip. He loses his drill. They catch it, and they drill the ceiling because rabbits, that's what they do, and that spins the table above them. It's a sign. The criminal triggers the alarm. The rabbits eat his flashlight. Now they glow. Seance guy tries to escape because he knows something is going down. Uh, but he loses his money hat. He's very greedy and he keeps all of his money in a money hat. So he trips down the stairs trying to get his money hat, falls on the criminal, and the police shows up. Does the police arrest the seance guy too?
Who knows? Probably.
Yeah, there are no answers here. There's
Because
no
it
answer
just
to
ends with the cult of
rabbit
the glowing
purgatory.
rabbit.
Yeah, it ends with glowing rabbits and the hipsters at the seance after being inducted into the church of this fake avatar, looking outside at the glowing rabbits and thinking that they're ghosts. That's the end of the first episode. As you can tell, it left a very good impression.
I'm sorry. What
Um,
are we talking about again?
uh, when this episode was selected for us by our artificial intelligence system,
The Almighty Machine.
that, the little octopus robot at the top of the screen, yeah, that thing. It, I had no expectations going forward. No, did you already see this? Because you didn't like it from the get go.
This show,
Yeah.
I knew of its existence, and I already knew when I heard of its existence that I wasn't going to like the show. And then I saw the show, and I'm like, "Yep," because I knew
Okay.
Rabbids. I knew what plot could there be.
Because I said, alright, we're doing rabbits. He's like, oh no. Like, dang.
And now
Because,
you know, I didn't even watch this show, and I knew it was bad.
let me tell you about T Wells. I don't think he has pre-hated something yet. You know, he just, usually when he dislikes something, it surprises him. So, this is a first. It's not like Stray, who immediately hates everything that he doesn't automatically love. If he doesn't know he loves it, he's like, I don't know what this is. It's gonna suck. And I had no expectations. I should have had lower than no expectations. Episode 2. This starts with Stop No More. Yeah, isn't it weird that this like the first one was where Rabbit is not in the title? So this is the one where they introduced us to the Shaggy character model. Got a burp in my chest. Cause Shaggy kept getting high and it kicked him out of the mystery machine. So he's trying to hitch a ride to I don't know where. Because in Rabbit Purgatory, there are no answers. And the rabbits show up and start screwing with him. That's basically how it always starts with the rabbits. If they're gonna show up, they're gonna start screwing with whatever that's around. Because they all have ADHD. I apologize to people with ADHD. It's not a fight against you. In fact, you should feel animosity towards Ubisoft for making the rabbits your representatives in this affair. Um, so with the rabbits, and this is really weird what happens here. He gets picked up by a rabbit-heading serial killer. Now, you would think that does this guy have previous experience with the rabbits? Why does he instantly want to kill these rabbits? I don't understand. It's not explained. There are no answers. You can't blame him for wanting to kill the rabbits, but the fact that he just comes out of nowhere and like, I'm gonna pick this guy up just so I can kill those rabbits. It's a little off. It's a little on the this doesn't make a lot of sense side of things. While he's trying to kill these rabbits, while in the back of his pickup truck, they start grabbing the power line, and he stops his truck to cut them off of the power line because he can't drive while they're holding onto that power line. And this rubber bands the truck forward, and then he chases after the truck, and you never see him again. There was a lot of build up for this serial killer, and yeah, it ends pretty quickly and leads to nothing. They stop at a gas station, the rabbits and Shaggy, and they find an air hose that they start playing with, and they continue their cowboy stick because, like I said, they do that a lot. Then the same old guy as before shows up, gives Shaggy a card with a jingle in it for some reason. Shaggy tries to escape because they're all over him for the jingle, so he gives them the jingle, but that still doesn't satisfy him, and they're way too annoying for Shaggy. So he's trying to escape them, but he can't. They just keep following him. And at the end, he decides, hey, they're pretty cool after all.
Just accept my
No.
fate.
Yeah, that's what happens. He gets the Stockholm syndrome because there's no evolution between these rabbits are annoying me to death and they're pretty cool after all. There's like 2 frames in between that decision, and it just happens. And nobody picks him up, and he's still waiting in the desert, and that's the end. Literally nothing has happened in this episode. It starts and ends the same way. It's pretty terrible. Now, Rabbids versus the vacuum cleaner is the next segment. I honestly thought this song, and there's a guy who's singing this song at this convenience store, and I thought it was "Don't Believe in Oil Pollution."
Wait, it isn't what he said? I thought that's what he said.
It's "Don't Believe in Revolution."
I heard both, though.
Is it really
I
both?
heard
It
both.
might be both.
Don't believe in oil
No,
pollution. Don't believe in revolution. I heard both.
that. Okay. Well, as long as you heard
I
both,
heard both.
then it's probably both. Good, good. What is he listening to? The Donald Trump mix?
Oh.
What is like? I don't. I think oil pollution is kind of an inevitable fact at this point. It's it happens. So inside, the rabbits are hypnotized by the TV, and I think they're on all the TVs at the TV display at the convenience store. And for the record, this does not look like a store that would sell a bunch of HD
It
TVs.
is. That looks like a grocery store.
Yeah. Um. So the guy that sings Yeah, this must be. I bet this was your favorite episode.
He's not singing, he's listening to music.
But he mumbles the lyrics.
No, that's just coming from the thing.
Like I said, this is your favorite episode.
This is not my favorite episode.
I love T-Bob's enthusiasm. Uh, he gets sick while cleaning the floor. I don't know exactly how it happened because I'm so disinterested at this point. But he gets some stomach sickness, so he leaves his all-in-one floor sweeper machine truck car thing alone with the rabbits. And one of the rabbits gets stuck inside of it, so they decided it has to die, and they fight it. Now the guy comes back, and he does sing. Because when he does it, he sounds like a male version of Roxy Bear. And that's why I remember him singing.
Really?
Yeah, it is not a positive experience. Again, just like the thing that lays eggs in your anus, I don't blame you for blocking it out. They find the cash register machine, and they're amused by the headphones that were left on it. And they are also amused by the beep that happens when they scan things. So they make music. And by music, I mean patternless bleeps that they dance to. Because comedy. And the guy's still running back and forth, pooping. Because poop is funny. And one of the rabbits is in the toilet next to him. And he sees this man, and he's inspired to take out the toilet tissue. So when the guy goes back to poop and there's no toilet tissue, he sees the rabbit, and he uses the rabbit as toilet tissue. And he uses the rabbit as toilet tissue.
I heard you.
I'm saying it twice just because our listeners didn't think it was funny the first time. You know, uh, I like poop jokes. I do. I'm not embarrassed to admit it. Poop jokes, fart jokes, it's all good with me. This this was so lazy. This was the laziest poop jokes. Cause there wasn't really a joke about it. He was just pooping, and he felt sick. And like, it's one thing if he had like, okay, in Van Wilder, at the end of Van Wilder, douche character, he gets a bunch of laxatives, so he's in this important meeting, right? And he can't hold it in. He can't hold it in. He can't make it to the bathroom. So in front of all these important old people,
Oh,
he
yeah.
gets
I
the garbage
remember
bin,
that, yeah.
and he just takes the most heinous diarrhea poop of all time in the garbage bin. Now that amused me, but the people that I was watching it with, I love that. That was hilarious to them. That makes sense. There's setup there. There's the awkwardness of the situation, plus his facial expressions. Well, it was really good, and as we mentioned here, his facial expressions in the show, super stiff. Here, he's pooping, yes, but he's pooping in a stall by himself. So, instead of, this is funny, it's, look at this natural thing that everybody does. Isn't that funny? No, because it's a natural thing that everybody does. What do you want from me? Next episode, Runaway Rabbids. So the rabbits are watching tennis. Why is that? Are you laughing? I hope you're laughing at something else.
I am.
Good.
Or it might have
And
been breathing heavy. I don't know.
and one of them gets hit with a tennis ball, I would like to say there's only two rabbits in this episode. Uh, I don't know. I just feel like that's important. So they decide to join the tennis game with a skillet and a snorkel. So they barge into this tennis game and they start playing tennis, and the ball gets caught in one of their mouths. So one of the rabbit knocks the ball out of the other rabbit's mouth by smacking him on the butt. Like I said, they love the butt. They chase it outside the court. They steal some actual tennis rackets and start playing it in an airfield, where for some reason the airplanes mistake their playing for instructions. The rabbits aren't even glowing. Like usually when someone does this joke, it's like it's a flashlight or something that glows. I'm pretty sure an airplane captain is not gonna be dumb enough to mistake tennis for instructions. But that's the type of why do we still get comedy shows from Canada? That's the question. They gave us this. They gave us Johnny Test. They gave us Total Drama Island. They probably gave us Totally Spies. I'm
They
thinking
no,
that
they
they
did.
did.
They did. That's
Yeah,
totally
yeah.
spot. That's from Canada.
Why are they doing this stuff? I thought we were allies. Okay. Uh, just maybe.
Snippy has bad experience with Canadian things.
I do. You know, people say whenever the presidential elections are going on, you will always hear from both sides. If etc. is elected, I'm going to Canada. If this is the comedy in Canada, I'm not going to Canada.
That's not the comedy in Canada. The
I'm
comedy in
getting my. I'm
Canada
getting my.
is the same shows we have sometimes, maybe.
I'm getting my Spanish to English dictionary. I'm going to Mexico.
I don't think you want.
But I don't know what Mexican comedy is like, but it's gotta be better than this.
You don't want that. Like, if you think it's hot here where we live, you're not gonna like it there.
But maybe that just means they have the best winters ever.
They don't have winter. If you want winter, you gotta go to South America.
Wait. Oh, okay. I'm about to say, because
Under,
Mexico is closer to the
yeah,
equator.
under the equator. Like, go deep south.
Where all the diseases are.
So south that it's
And the
actually
bonfires.
north.
That's where I'll go. Um, yeah, that was the airplane ranch. So, Shaggy's there, working
Hmm.
at as a luggage transporter. And the rabbits climb on and are tossing all of the luggage off the luggage truck at each other. Why? Because. And that gets Shaggy fired.
Yeah, because the
So,
guy doesn't believe he's not the one doing it. His boss doesn't believe he's not the one doing it.
yeah. So he's screwed because he'll never find another job in this economy, especially not looking like he smokes weed all the time.
Yeah.
And they start playing Pong with the luggage in the luggage warehouse before taking a stroll through the X-ray machine. So Shaggy's boss sees what's going on and he fires Shaggy, expecting Shaggy to help. Shaggy kind of just disappeared for the rest of the episode until the end. He goes into the warehouse, tries to capture the rabbits, falls into the X-ray machine. 'Cause that's supposed to be funny. He does eventually capture the rabbits, and Shaggy tells him that he was told to put them in a truck. So they open the truck.
Or the container.
Yeah, the container. I thought the container was attached to a truck. But okay, we'll use container. And they open it up, and it's full of individually loaded, non-packaged tennis balls. Who would do that? And the effort in order to do that. Why? 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 Anyway, the tennis balls fall down. That's the end of this episode. Let's move on to episode 3. So, this episode starts with Rabbids say cheese. If you can't guess what's going to happen in this episode, something 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 camera, something something Rabbids, that's all you need to know. Next episode, Raving lifeguards. No, let's go back. The Rabbids are at a mall. And at the mall, they find an abandoned dog tied to a shopping cart. Wow, that is so irresponsible. Now, the dog is a Doberman, and he has sharp fangs. He's kind of stereotyped as an angry dog, as Dobermans kind of are. And he kind of looks like Shark Dog from Eat the Cat. Just the way his face looks, and with his shark teeth. But the point is, they trap him under the shopping cart that he's tied to. And then they roam the mall until they find the photo booth, where there's a woman laughing way too hard at some photos of herself, which of course makes them want to use the photo booth themselves. Unfortunately, there's already a man inside, but a rabbit joins him anyway. And the rabbit ruins the photos. The man wants to redo the picture, but he only has a $100 bill, and it costs 25 cents. Why is this man carrying $100 bills?
That's true. Why is he carrying $100 bills?
Anyway, the rabbits try to get the photo taken, but they don't have 25 cents. So the leader, and you can tell he's the leader because he's got the edgy eyes. One red eye, one blue eye. All the Japanese women are going crazy for him. He sends them off to find money. They find a bunch of round things, but none of them find money until one of them remembers the token on the dog collar. It's round and it's flat, so maybe it'll pass for money. So they take it off the dog collar and they give it to the leader, and he takes pictures of himself, and they laugh at those pictures because of his butt, and they start doing butt stuff. Not the sexual butt stuff. But if they did do sexual butt stuff, it still wouldn't be funny. Uh, the leader decides to take more pictures, all the while one rabbit gets stuck in a vending machine because he's still looking for quarters, but that no longer has anything to do with the rest of the episode. The dog gets free, decides to have revenge, and when he does so, everyone picks up pictures of the leader rabbit, flips them backwards, so it looks like they have blank faces. But the leader rabbit has his own picture in front of him, so he just looks like himself, and the dog chases the leader rabbit. And this segment goes off. I think this show has multiple seasons.
2.
I don't know why. I don't know why. And you know what? Like I said, I did like the rabbit advertising campaign. No, I liked them in the uh, when I saw them in the video game magazines back when I used to buy video game magazines. I liked the advertisements when they're on TV shows, and there's something they just do something weird and go, eh. I thought it was enjoyable. Those things last like 3 seconds. That's why the rabbits work. They do something silly, they do the thing, then it goes off. These are 20-minute episodes. They get annoying really,
Broken up
really
into 3
fast.
segments.
Yeah, compared to legitimately 3 seconds. Raving Lifeguard, second segment. We're almost done. Let's just drive through this. There's a bunch of reused old people animation. Did I just say the word of the day?
No, that was you know who messaging me.
Ah, Voldemort. This is where we find the black guy. The lazily designed black guy with the afro. We see him. He does basically nothing except have an afro because he's black. I'm about to go on a rant. On a completely unrelated rant. How come in animation we just can't get black people with normal hair? Like, it's always an afro, bald, or dreadlocks. Um,
Aren't those the hairstyles black people have?
most black people have short cut hair. It's
I
like,
don't believe you. This show says differently.
and it's not just this show. It's most shows. If you're black, you got afro, you got dreadlocks, or you're bald, and that's just the way it is. In video games, if you're black, you got an afro, you got dreadlocks, or you're bald. It's like normal black people don't exist. You have to have this extra black flavor. That's one of the reasons. Like I said, I'm not a Falcon Cap fan. One of the reasons I like Falcon is because he has normal black people hair. That's his saving grace for me. Like he used to be a pimp. You know that? At one point he was retconned where in his origin where he was pimp. He was just pimping women, and then he had a change of heart and became a superhero. Even if he kept that origin, I still like him better than many, many black superheroes because of his hair. That's why T'Challa's awesome. He's got the black hair, but then he's also legitimately awesome in addition to having the black hair. Now that that rant is over, back to raving lifeguards.
And the old ladies that want to bang them.
Oh god, this is so. This plot starts out like every episode. Rabbits show up and start shit. I mean, that is the plot to every episode. So naturally, that's how every episode starts. The lifeguard runs in slow mo after the woman gets hit in the watermelon and somehow survives. Hey, kids don't watch Baywatch. Most kids won't remember Baywatch. Baywatch was too old to watch when I was a kid. So, I'm just saying. You can retire this joke. But the lifeguard runs in slow mo to save this watermelon girl. And, yeah, like I said, somehow she's alive after being hit in the face with watermelon. In fact, he doesn't have to do anything to her. He just takes the watermelon off her face. She's like, oh, you saved my life. So they're getting super flirtatious. And
And the old ladies are getting hot and bothered.
hot, bothered, and more importantly, jealous. While this is happening, the rabbits are fighting over a pretzel. And they see a seagull with a pretzel in his mouth. So now they want that. Note that the rabbits don't eat the pretzel. They're not interested in eating the pretzel. I don't know what they're doing with those pretzels.
You really want to know?
Yes.
I don't know. I was saying, do you really want to know? Are you sure?
So, the old woman is trying to get the man's attention. Trying to get some of those smoochy smoochies. So she pretends to have something happen to her because they're on a boat, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So one like, why is there a lifeguard on a boat? If you fall overboard,
Pool.
which is the only way you could probably
Pool.
drown on this boat,
Pool.
you have to do way more.
The pool.
I didn't see a pool though.
Exactly.
I hope this whole boat. You know what? This episode should have ended with this boat heading towards an iceberg. That would have made me laugh. Because no one here deserves to live. Um, I guess she pretends to have a heart attack. She pretends to have some kind of condition. And the lifeguard wants to save her. But she plays her hand too soon by going all smoochy smoochy. Like Jinx from Pokemon is going all smoochy smoochy. Like, you don't want to smooch that. Oh my gosh. I just remembered the one episode where they introduced Jinx. That was terrible.
The one that was cut.
I don't know if it was
The
cut.
Christmas episode.
Yeah.
That was cut.
How did I watch it?
They put it. In reruns. They showed it.
Ah, okay. Um, she played her hands a little too soon, so the guy realizes I don't have to smooch this. I'm gonna use the defibrillator, and he electrocutes her, and she yodels because comedy. One of the rabbits steals someone's underwear to do the lifeguard run, and then the rabbits, for some reason, decide to electrocute the old women. Because why? They're going to kill those women. They are old. None of them can survive an electrocution.
It's fine. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
So the lifeguard tries to save the life of one of these old women, and then she gets super rapey. And then the other old people try to fight off the rabbits to protect themselves from being electrocuted. Something something submarine shows up for some reason. They say something, translate rabbit speech to insults because why? Like, this whole submarine subplot is the most random and probably the worst thing to happen in any of these episodes. Because you can tell that they just threw that in there. It was just the most randomly thrown in pointless thing that they have used in these 3 episodes, as far as I'm concerned. But anyway, so the guy who got his underwear stolen, he's all angry at the lifeguard. The captain that comes from the submarine he's all angry at the lifeguard. The black guy who has this hole in his head, for some reason, I don't know why, they just lost me somewhere. He's angry
Yeah.
at the lifeguard. So they decide to beat him up. Rabbits are right there.
He's like, no, it was them.
And for some reason they don't believe him, so yeah, he gets the bulk of the hate. And then they go on their way. Uh, the rabbits revive the man with the defibrillator. He yodels. The rabbits catch the seagull with the pretzel, so they get a happy ending. And the black guy shows up and he's like, "Hey, I'm sorry. I just I just get upset when people mess with my hair." This is why the hair rant is necessary. That hair rant will be cut from this review and placed in each and every animated show Well, there's a black guy without normal people hair. I'm tired of it. Normal black people need representation. Rabbit speed. The last segment. Whew. Let's see if we can get through this at rabbit speed. A rabbit falls in love with a pepper poster. Then they also fall in love with the pepper juice commercial. I was gonna say
Also,
pepper
in that
poster
pepper
juice
juice
commercial.
commercial is by that same black guy from
It is
before.
by the same black guy. But here's the thing.
And guess who's working at this store promoting the drink? Shaggy guy. Shaggy guy is in that like pepper costume.
We need to talk about the black guy. We need to talk about this black guy.
Oh my
Okay.
god, that ran again.
No, this is a different rant. The rabbits like the commercial, but they don't like the black guy in the commercial. So every time this commercial comes on, it gets to the part where the black guy shows up and they beat up the TV, which rewinds it for some reason to the previous part. And this happens a lot. And it does make the rabbits come off as intolerant. French Canadians. Why you gotta be so intolerant of black people? I used to know a French Canadian. And it's a shame because for some reason, and I know this is weird, but I know that you will understand. For some reason, I do want to blame Stray for this. Even though he's not French Canadian. He's like the closest we have. Anyway, so the Pepper Juice mascot is now their new idol. And they see this man, and I don't know what they want to do to him. They just want to follow him around. The man does not like this. It creeps him out, as it should. So he's trying to escape them. They steal an old lady's grocery cart, and they start chasing the mascot around in circles. They all drink some pepper juice to get a power boost, and then they catch up to the pepper guy. His clothes come off. The old woman loses her glasses and ends up buying all the pepper products. So the rabbits leave. One of them just enters. I guess he was stuck outside for some reason. I don't know. Not paying enough attention. They the pepper guy makes the rabbit the new mascot. He dances. Everybody dances with him. This episode, this this episode and this segment ends. And boy, oh boy, was that worth watching. It wasn't worth watching. Ah, is there a complaint that I can say that I haven't said yet?
Don't watch the show, people.
Ah, let's see. We talked about how cheap it is, the reuse of models, the terrible animation, the bad lip syncing, how stuff just happens, how there's no jokes, how they just appeal to the lowest common denominator. No, there's no appealing. There's nothing appealing about this whatsoever. How 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 did it get a second season? I don't understand. Now that said, nothing about this show pissed me off. So you can say that it's a bad show. It's a really bad show. But I didn't come away angry. I didn't hate it. It's just a bad show.
Yeah.
You know, because the things you hate are things that disappoint you. And you can't be disappointed when you have no expectations as far as quality.
Yeah.
So, yeah. You go into this, you're gonna go in feeling meh. You're gonna feel meh throughout the whole thing, and you're gonna come out feeling meh. This show is evidence that Nickelodeon has long past its prime.
If they thought this was a good idea.
Not only that, if they gave it a second season, like, it no wonder that the Splat came back, and that they're talking about rebooting old Nickelodeon cartoons. And listen, I'm sure that they can come up with some fresh new cartoons. Like, there's no reason that they can't have an Adventure Time, or Gravity Falls, or Steven Universe. You have to assume that something about their executive decision making is driving cartoons like that away. Because they're not getting anything like that. They're getting stuff like this.
Well, this was like 2 years ago.
It was more than 2 years ago. Because at this point, the Rabbids have all but faded away.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Because Rayman came back. Rayman can't get his own show. Rabbids can get his own show. Like, you remember the days where a popular cartoon icon, video game icon, Sonic the Hedgehog, Mario, Earthworm, Jim, Mega Man, all have their own cartoons.
Sonic
Rayman can't get a
still
show.
has a show
Yeah.
in the new canon.
Well, he gets a new canon every, like, 2 years.
Ugh. Yeah.
Sonic Boom. We do not have to review
Ugh.
that. Thank goodness.
I've never even seen an episode, so I don't know anything about it.
Neither did I. But I saw that one thing where you can't swim in the Sonic Boom video game. So they kind of merged the video game with the show, and they make Tails go in the water and die.
That's
Yeah.
funny.
Uh, so yeah, don't watch this show. It's bad. It'll make you feel bad. Doesn't matter how cute you think the rabbits are. It doesn't matter if you are a fan of the game. I'm pretty sure the game is actually funnier than this. If you're interested in rabbits, play the game. You got decent reviews. Yeah, it was just a minigame compilation, but hey, Adam Sessler didn't hate it, and that means it's okay. Next time, we'll be going back into the world of Toonami Tuesdays on Wednesdays as we wrap up what we started at our very first episode with the real adventure
We have
of Johnny
come full
Quest.
circle.
We have. We have. It is a shame that Stray's not
And
going to be
I'm
there.
sure we will end it by saying these really were the real adventures of Johnny Quest.
These adventures of Johnny
We're
Quest
real.
were the realest.
We really are the real adventures of Johnny Quest.
So yeah, as per usual, hit us up in the comments. Check out our YouTube. Look us up on YouTube, and hit us up at cartoonkilowatt
Ugh.
at gmail.com. Being all tongue tied because, like, how in the world do these cartoons have almost no dialogue, and the dialogue still suck? It just, I need to watch. I need to watch this out. I need to watch this out of my mind. I should have watched this before I watched Gundam, so I could have something to watch it out with.
I watched Gundam before this.
Yeah, me too.
Okay.
That's the problem. But that problem has nothing to do with you, our listeners.
Yes.
So we will see you later.
No, it will have nothing to do with you until we start reviewing Gundam on the Tsunami Tuesdays.
Yeah, our 5-part Gundam retrospective.
Oh, we will geek out.
All right, later, people.
Bye.